Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to see the concept of electromagnetic waves or transverse in nature. Before getting into the concept, first I wanted to refresh the equations, wave propagation equation with respect to lossless medium and conducting medium. The wave propagation equation in case of your lossless medium is going to be Laplacian operator of E is equal to mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou t square. Suppose if I wanted to identify the value of wave propagation equation in a good conducting medium, the same equation is derived and got the expression as Laplacian operator of E is equal to mu sigma dou E by dou t plus mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou t square. So just I have written one equation, that is wave propagation equation in terms of wave propagation equation in an electric field in terms of E, and the next one is going to be wave propagation equation in terms of E in a good conducting medium. When you compare these two equations, it is clear that in a lossless medium, the conductivity sigma is absent and the medium is considered to be an isotropic medium. So Laplacian operator of E is equal to mu sigma. Here sigma has come into the picture. So as sigma is existing, that is conductivity is existing, it is the equation representing the wave propagation equation in terms of E in a good conducting medium. Now we wanted to see the concept of wave propagation equation, that is the electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. Here one thing we wanted to understand, you consider the Cartesian coordinate system. In Cartesian coordinate system, the three ordinates are going to be x, y, z. Now consider the waves are propagated along your x-axis direction. The direction of the wave, the direction of the field will be orthogonal to the direction of the wave. So it is the direction of the wave. For this, the orthogonal axis is going to be y and z. Therefore, the value of electric field intensity obtained is on your y-axis, and your magnetic field intensity is always perpendicular to your electric field intensity. Therefore, the value of your magnetic field intensity is all along your z-axis direction. Now we wanted to prove this, the electromagnetic wave, whatever I have shown over here, is going to be transverse in nature. Now in an electromagnetic wave, electric and magnetic field vectors are perpendicular to each other and at the same time are perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of the wave. As we discussed now, it is your y-axis, z-axis. On your x-axis, you are going to propagate the wave. So when this wave is getting propagated on your x-axis, the direction of your field is going to be orthogonal with respect to the direction of your wave propagation. Therefore, the direction of your electric field is along your y-axis. For the value of your electric field, the direction of your electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular. So, we will get the magnetic field intensity along z-axis direction. So, to the direction of the propagation of the wave, your electric field and magnetic field is going to be orthogonal, and we can say it is going to be perpendicular. This nature of your electromagnetic wave is known as transverse in nature. Now, Maxwell's have proved the electric and magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other in the direction of the wave propagation. How we are saying that the electric field and the magnetic field are perpendicular in the sense, already we have derived the expression stating that your electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other with the help of your Maxwell's equation. Now you can consider the electromagnetic wave is going to be propagating along your positive x-axis. When a rectangular parallel pipe was placed parallel to the three coordinate axes, your electric field and magnetic field propagate sinusoidal with x-axis and are independent on y and z-axis. It is just like when you are going to propagate the wave along your x-axis, the wave propagation is only, the direction of propagation is only all along your x-axis. It is independent of the term called y and z. Therefore, the wave propagation is independent on y and z axis. You can see the diagram over here. The wave is going to be propagated along the positive x-axis and the field is going to get exerted on your y-axis and z-axis, and both the fields are going to be orthogonal with the direction of your wave propagation. So the rectangular pipeline, the rectangular parallel pipe does not enclose any charge. Thus, the total electric flux across it must be equal to 0. Therefore, according to Gauss's law, what you can write is integral over the closed surface d dot ds should be equal to 0. And in case if your charge is going to be 0, then you can see here integral over the closed line E dot dl is equal to 0. It is in case of your open circuited condition, the current flow. In case of open circuit, you will not be getting the current, but you will be getting a voltage. So we'll get, according to the Gauss's law, you can write it here, the integral over the closed surface E dot ds will be equal to 0. Hence you can write it as the electric field remains the same at different points on x-axis. This proves that electric field is static in nature. We have static field and dynamic field. Static field means the field will remain same. Dynamic field means from time to time it is going to get changed. It is just like your time varying field. The component of the electric field along the direction of propagation is 0, as the electric field is perpendicular to the direction of your wave propagation. And hence we can write the wave propagating along your z-axis can be written as Ex, Ey and Ez. It is going to be the electric field component. In this, Ez is going to be 0 because the electric field intensity's direction is only along your y-axis. And there is no field components along x and y-axis direction. So we can write dou E by dou x because we are going to propagate the wave along your x-axis direction, which is equal to dou E divided by dou y, because according to the figure that has been explained early, it is the direction of your electric field intensity is along your y-axis and the direction of the magnetic field intensity is along z-axis, and the wave is going to be propagated along your x-axis. So since the wave is going to be propagated to the direction of the wave propagation, your fields are going to be orthogonal. So we can write dou E by dou x. It is nothing but the electric field intensity when the wave is propagated along your x-axis is equal to dou E divided by dou y. That is the direction of your field along your y-axis, which is equal to 0. Wave equations for free space is given by dou square, that is Laplacian operator of E is equal to mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou t square. This equation represents the wave propagation equation in a free space, the general form of your wave propagation equation in free space, or you can say in a lossless medium in terms of E. Now here with respect to x, the wave is propagated and you are going to get the field along your y-axis. So in this, E can be written as Ey. We can write, if you consider all the three axes, that is x, y, z, you can write it as dou square by dou x square plus dou square Ex by dou x square plus dou square Ex divided by dou y square, dou square Ex divided by dou z square. With respect to z, all terms are going to get cancelled. So we'll get the term mu epsilon dou square by dou t square. In the place of E, you need to substitute Ex Ax plus Ey Ay plus Ez Az. But Ez will be equal to 0 because in the direction, in z-axis direction, only the value of magnetic field exists, whereas in the direction of y, your electric field intensity will get exist. Therefore, we can write dou Ex by dou x is equal to dou Ey by dou y is equal to 0, which you can make it in the equation 1, and you can write it as dou square Ex by dou z square into Ax plus dou square Ey by dou z square into Ay is equal to mu epsilon dou square by dou t square into Ex Ax plus Ey Ay. It is like now we are going to prove that the wave propagated is transverse in nature. So we'll get the equation dou square Ex by dou z square is equal to mu epsilon dou square Ex divided by dou t square. Dou square Ey divided by dou z square is equal to mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou t square. Similarly, we can obtain the equation of h as dou square hx by dou z square is equal to mu epsilon dou square hx divided by dou t square. Similarly, in terms of y, if you write it, dou square hy divided by dou z square is equal to mu epsilon dou square hy divided by dou t square. Now we can see the values of your wave propagation equation in a free space traveling in z-axis direction. So when your uniform wave is traveling in free space in z-axis direction, here you will be getting dou z square. Suppose if the wave is going to travel along your x-axis direction, then you will get dou square E divided by dou x square is equal to mu epsilon dou square Ex divided by dou t square. So depending upon the direction of the wave, your denominator term will change. So if your wave is going to propagate along your x-axis, then we need to write it as dou square E by dou x square. Suppose if the wave is going to be propagated along your y-axis, then it has to be written as dou square E divided by dou y square. So in which axis it is going to propagate, you need to put the denominator as that axis. Now we need to frame the uniform plane wave equation. That is, we have already proved that the wave propagation equation is transverse in nature. We need to prove it for the z-axis direction, that is sinusoidal time variation. In case of your sinusoidal time variation, dou square Ex by dou z square. As I told earlier, if you are going to propagate the wave in x-axis, then you will be getting the equation dou square E divided by dou x square. In the place of z, you will be getting it as z. Suppose if your wave is going to be propagated in z-axis, you will get it as dou square E divided by dou z square, which is equal to mu epsilon dou square E by dou t square. When you reduce the equation for the sinusoidal time variation, the equation is reduced to minus omega square mu epsilon into Ex. Similarly, you can write it for the other directions like y-axis, and in terms of h, you can write it as dou hx by dou z, dou hy divided by dou z. This is going to be the wave propagation equation for uniform plane wave in free space traveling in z-axis direction. And from this equation, it is understood that the wave propagation, the electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. Like with respect to one axis, the other axis is going to be orthogonal. The field is going to be orthogonal for the direction of the propagated wave. And hence we have proved everything. First, we have proved with respect to x, when the wave is propagated in x-axis direction, the equation is going to be dou square E divided by dou x square. Suppose if the wave is going to be propagated along your y-axis, just here dou square E divided by dou y square. The rest all terms is going to be same. And this is the wave equation for the uniform plane wave in free space traveling in z-axis direction for the sinusoidal time variation. Thank you, students.